All right, let's review the games of Wednesday, April 10th. It was the first day of the playoffs, first game for everybody. So we're going to talk about the Lightning versus the Blue Jackets, the Penguins versus the Islanders, the Blues versus the Jets, the Stars versus the Predators, and the Knights versus the San Jose Sharks. Let's first start with Tampa Bay and Columbus. And Columbus won this 4-3. Tampa had a 3-goal lead in this. They were leading 3-0. Columbus, after they traded for all those good players and Duchesne and Zingle from Ottawa, they got McQuaid from New York Rangers, and I might be forgetting, they picked up Kincaid as a third goalie from New Jersey. Am I missing anyone? In any case, for the first 9 or so games, it didn't look like much. They actually looked like they got worse. And then all of a sudden, Bobrovsky started standing on his head in the last 3 weeks of the season, picked up like 3-4 shutouts, launched himself into the top, some of the top statistics in the league, including wins. I think he was tied for fourth or maybe even second or third. And the team started to look really good. I mean, Columbus finished with like 6 or 7 players who've scored 20 goals or more. So there's a lot of offensive, balance throughout the lineup. And there's some big bodies on that team too. But still, Tampa Bay, I mean, I don't have to tell you how good they are, right? How do they blow a 3-0 lead? All of a sudden, I don't feel bad about being a Maple Leafs fan anymore. Okay, so the shots in this game were 29-26 Tampa. In the first period, Tampa outshot Columbus 13-6. In the second, it was a tie, 11-11. In the third, Columbus outshot Tampa 9-5. The face-offs in this game were won by Columbus 29-27. The hits were 31-30 for Tampa. And from the goalie side of things, Sergei Bobrovsky stopped 26-29. Vasilevsky stopped 22-26. First star of the game was Jones, who got the game winner. He had 1 goal and played over 25 minutes of ice time. The second star was Cirelli, who scored a goal for Tampa. And third was Anderson, who had 1 goal and 1 assist. Now, during the first period, one of the announcers, I can't remember if it was a Columbus feed or the Tampa Bay feed, said that Bobrovsky wasn't having a good game, 3-0. You couldn't blame any of those goals on Bobrovsky. They were all great goals. I mean, the first goal was a breakaway, shorthanded. Yeah, Tampa seems to score one of those every game. And one could argue, maybe he was leaning too much to the left in the net or, whatever. Still, it was a clear-cut breakaway. I mean, come on. And really, in all the games today, there were no real bad goals. I want to say there were tip-ins, lucky tip-ins. The goalie was screened, or it was a clear breakaway, or beautiful individual effort. There was no stinkers really today. So even from Jones from San Jose, yeah. Anyway, in any case, let's get back to let's quickly run through the scores of the game. In the first period, it was Killorn who got that shorthanded goal to make it 1-0. Tampa then makes it 2-0 from Cirelli, assisted by Cernak and Miller. Then they make it 3-0 still in the first period from Gord, assisted by Sergachev and Ruta. And that was it for Tampa. You notice how you don't see Kucherov or Stamkos or Point, for instance, any of their top guys in the first 2 lines on that score sheet. A little shocking, isn't it? Kucherov actually gave away the puck a couple of times, too. He didn't have a great game. Then let's go to the second period. Foligno makes it 3-1, start the comeback from the captain, no less, assisted by Anderson. In the third period, Columbus makes it 3-2. Savard gets a goal unassisted. Then it's 3-3. Anderson ties it up on a shorthanded goal. Gave Tampa a little bit of their own medicine there, and it was a beautiful, beautiful goal. If you Google any goal of the game, look at that one. That was assisted by Jenner. And, of course, Jones scored a seeing eye shot to win the game with 4 or 5 minutes left on the power play, assisted by Panarin and Werenski. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Penguins and New York Islanders. The Islanders beat the Penguins 4-3. Almost all my teams that I picked in my NHL playoff bracket lost today. I think I picked Pittsburgh to win this series maybe in 6 or 7 games. It's going to be close. But, I mean, still, you have Trotz, who coached Washington to the Stanley Cup last year, now at the head of the Islanders, and he knows Pittsburgh really well. So, in any case, the shots in this game were 44-33 Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh led all 3 periods in shots. So in the first, it was 17-12, second 13-10, the third 11-9. The face-offs in this game were 35-29 for the Islanders. Hits were 43-42. A lot of hits in this game. This was a seesaw game. It went back and forth and back and forth. This was actually really exciting. It wasn't like a I'm going to defense you to death kind of Barry Trotz game, which happened more than not during the regular season with the Islanders, But again, this is another 1-goal game. The power play, Pittsburgh was 1 for 3. The Islanders were 1 for 2. The goalies, Robin Lehner, stopped 41 of 44 shots. He was really good. He's really good. And Matt Murray wasn't bad either. Stopped 29 of 33. Again, there's no bad goals in this one. The first star of the game goes to Bailey, who got the overtime goal. Second star goes to Eberle, who got a goal and assist. And the third star goes to Leddy, who got a goal. But that last goal in overtime, this is the goal that you look up, you Google. Bailey scored it, but Barzal it was just a beautiful individual effort. He was just dancing in and out and toe dragging. He looked like Mitch Marner out there. It was just gorgeous. And Bailey just had to tap it in. That's all he had to do. Let's quickly go through the scores. In the first, New Islanders go ahead 1-0 from Eberle, assisted by Lee and Pelch. Pittsburgh ties it up on a goal from Kessel, assisted by Simon and Dumoulin. Dumoulin, I think he got hit by the face. He was injured and left for the rest of the first period. Thank God they got him back because he's one of the top. Not only is he one of their top defensemen, he had a really good year, but he was in the top 4, I think, in the plus-minus in the league. There are other defensemen that they picked up from Vancouver also got injured. Gudbranson, I don't know if he came back into the game or not. That would be a big... He's played really well for Pittsburgh so far. That would be a big loss, especially in the playoffs. They need him. He'd be big. He's kind of like their tough guy now, right? In any case, where were we? Nelson, still in the first period, makes Islanders take it 2-1 on a power play goal from Eberle and Taves. In the second period, the Pittsburgh ties it up on a power play of their own, scored by Malkin, assisted by Schultz and Kessel. Kessel gets his second point of the night. In the third period, Islanders take the lead again. Leddy gets the goal, assisted by Filppula and Komarov. Pittsburgh ties it up again. They never led in this game. A goal with a seeing eye puck shot by Schultz, assisted by Letang and Malkin. Malkin gets his second point, as does Schultz. And the overtime, it's Bailey and Barzal. Let's move on to the next game. The St. Louis Blues beat the Winnipeg Jets 2-1. I wish I had seen more of this game. I kind of missed almost the entire first period. I did see Lanne's goal, though. This was probably one of the most anticipated games of the night for me, as well as the Knights versus the Sharks game. There wasn't many goals scored in this. The shots were 26-25 for the Blues. Binnington was amazing in this game, by the way. And so was Hellebuyck, but Binnington, wow, he made some show-stopping saves, especially in the third period. The shots, the first, it was St. Louis 8-7. The second, it was Winnipeg 11-8. The third, it was St. Louis 10-7. Power play, St. Louis went 0 for 3. The Jets went 0 for 1. And the face-offs was a tie. 31. That's an odd stat to be tied in, face-offs. And that wasn't the first time that happened on this night. Hits were 36-21 for Winnipeg. It looked like Buffalo had a couple of really good hits in this game. But who knows? I think Buffalo and Morrissey might have been a little bit rusty. They just came back. I want to say, was it this game or last game of the regular season? Laine, of course, hadn't been scoring and blah, blah, blah. But he got a goal in this game. He got Winnipeg's only goal. Before we jump to the scoreboard there, the goalies, Jordan Binnington got the win. He saved 24-25. And then the loss goes to Connor Hellebuyck, who saved 24-26. At the point in time that I did this board, there was no stars of the game, but you could easily give, probably the first star would go to Bozak, who got the game winner. The second star would go to Binnington, who could have been the first star as well. And then, what the hell, I'll give Laine a star for scoring his first goal in a very long time, like I want to say it was over 12 games, maybe as many as 19. So let's get to the scoreboard. In the first period, Line makes it 1-0 Jets. Jets led this game all the way into the third period. That he was assisted by Little and Bufflin. Second period, no goals. Third period, Perron ties the game, assisted by Peryanko and Sundqvist. And then Bozak scores a beauty. Check out that goal. Assisted by Maroon. Also, you got to see the toe save by Bennington in the third. Just fantastic. You can see the third period highlights of this game. Were terrific. Let's move on to the next game. The Dallas Stars beat the Nashville Predators 3-2. Another team that I picked to win the series lost today. The shots in this game were 31-29 for the Predators. The first period, it was Predators 12-9 in shots. The second, it was Dallas 10-5. In the third, it was 14-10 for the Predators. Face-offs in this game were 33-20. Won by the Predators. The hits were 24-16 by the Predators. That's interesting because the Predators were the bottom 4 in the league almost all season when it came to hits per game. So that's they're upping their physical presence there. Goalies, the win goes to Ben Bishop, who looked really good out there, saved 30 of 32 shots. The loss goes to, of course, Pekka Rinne, 26 of 29, and he wasn't bad either. The stars of the game are all Dallas Stars. The first one being Heiskanen, the rookie, gets 2 goals, plays over 23 minutes of ice time. They were double shifting him at points. And Klenberg, his partner, I think he played more than him. And the kid's, 19? 19 years old? Wow. Maybe he's 20. In any case. Second star goes to Zuccarello. Remember he got injured his first game in as a Dallas Star. He came across in a trade from the New York Rangers, and did he break his arm or something, I think? Trying to block a shot, or broke his hand. And that was really bad luck. But he's the second star of the game, and he played pretty well. There was a lot of takeaways. He was running some borderline interference plays. And he got a goal in this game, which was a really nice one. And he only played 13.50. That's barely third line minutes there. So that's kind of shocking. I thought he'd be more second liner kind of guy, playing with I want to say Rupp Heinz, who also had a terrific game. As well. I don't think he showed up on the scoreboard, but he played really well. Bishop got the third star of the night, had a point with a .938 save percentage. And let's get to the scoreboard here. In the first, Josi makes it 1-0 for the Predators. Predators were ahead in this game, the first and only time, assisted by Ellis and Bonio. And in the second period, Heiskanen, there he is, gets his first goal of the game on the power play, unassisted. In the third period, Dallas go ahead 2-1. Heiskanen gets a second goal of the game, assisted by Klenberg, his defense partner there. And then he also gets his second goal of the game, obviously. And then Dallas goes ahead 3-1. There's Zuccarello's goal, assisted by Lovejoy and Ben. And then to make it interesting, I think this is in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, Saban scores a beautiful, beautiful goal. Go Google that one. That was just a beautiful individual effort by him. Even though it was assisted by Boyle and Ekholm, there was some toe drags and he deked out 2-3 players. It was nice. That's all. I don't think I'm forgetting anything about this game. I missed a lot of it. I just got pieces here and there. But it looked like a decent game from the sort of second period on. Last game of the night, Vegas Golden Knights lose 5-2 to the San Jose Sharks. This series could go either way. They're so evenly matched. With the exception that San Jose has some really bad goaltending going into this series with Martin Jones and Aaron Dell. You've heard me, complain about that ad lib. And I like Jones. When they first got him, he played really well for the first couple of years. And even last year, for the most part, maybe up to halfway through the season. But in the playoffs last year, he was good, even though they lost to the Knights. And the Knights didn't really show up in this game until halfway through the second period. There was no smothering forecheck that they're known for. Nothing. They were kind of listless. And Carlson, you think, the big question was, is he going to take as long as he did at the beginning of the season to, get his game on? Because it took him 15 or 19 games to really get into a groove. And no, he just settled right into this game right away. Him and Burns looked amazing together, and they played a lot. Let's look at the shots. We're 33-26. San Jose Golden Knights. You know who the goalie is in Martin Jones. You've got to pepper him with shots, especially in the first period. And they didn't, because in the first, San Jose outshot the Knights 8-5. In the second, it was more the same by the Sharks in 14-5 in shots. And you just let Jones' confidence just build at this point. And then finally, the Knights get some shots in the third, 16-11 there. The face-offs, it was a tie. There's that other tie, 34 each. Bizarre stat. And the hits were 43-42. Another game like that Pittsburgh game. A lot of hits. This is going to be a nasty series. You got to watch this one. I think it's going to go 7 for sure. The power play, Knights went 1 for 4. The San Jose went 1 for 5. The goalies, Dr. Jones saves 24 of 26 shots. The loser is Marc-Andre Fleury, who saves 29-33. Again, there were no bad goals in this game, even by Jones, by his standards. And Fleury kept them in the game, even though they lost. They had 5 goals scored of them. One of them was an empty netter. The 3 stars of the game. The first star goes to Brent Burns with a goal and assist with over 20 minutes of ice time. He almost played half the game. Crazy. And the second star, Carlson, who had 2 assists, he only had 26 minutes, just over 26 minutes, because they didn't want to overdo it in only his second or third game back. Wow. Pavelski gets the 3rd star of the game because, hey, he scored with his face. Did I mention that? Went off his face and in the net from a Burns shot? Yeah. Let's quickly go through the scoring here. In the first period, Pavelski gets one off his mouth into the net, assisted by Burns on the power play. 1-0 Sharks. Second period, Sharks go ahead 2-0. A goal by Burns, assisted by Carlson and Hertl. There's that dynamic duo there. Burns gets the second point of the evening. Then it's 3-0 Sharks. Vlasic scores a goal, assisted by Thornton and Kane. Thornton and Kane both looked really good in this game too. Thornton especially. And then the Knights make it interesting. Stone gets on the board. That completely new second line of Stone, Stastny, and Pacioretty, who assist on that goal, get in there for the Knights. And hey, could you be queuing the cue back? Can you be queuing the comeback? No. Because in the last 7 seconds of the second period, Kane scores, completely deflating the Knights. Deflating, not defleeting. I'm not even sure what deflating means. Is that a word? So Kane gets his second point of the evening, assisted by Carlson and Nyquist. And then third period, there he is again, Stone, that second line on the power play. What's a power play? It's not the second line, but a lot of the players from the second line are on that power play. Assisted by Theodore and Pacioretty. And then it's just too little too late because the Sharks get the empty netter there. Hertl gets a second point of the night. That goal assisted by Couture and Vlasic, who gets 2 points on the night as well. That's it. That's all. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button. If you really liked it, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on the games in the comment section below. And if you happen to have any Hockey Geek friends, please don't feel shy about sharing. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.